Yo, what's going on, Team Tweedie? I hope you're all super well. Welcome to episode 42, I believe. Let me double check of hashtag Ask Tweedie. Yes, it is 42. The football show where you guys send in your football related questions. I do my best to answer them. If you guys have not seen this series before, it's unedited. We go 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 8 minutes, whatever. And I pick 3 questions every episode. If you want to leave your questions down below, your name will get shouted out. If you don't want your name, you feel it's a little bit more personal and you just want to keep it between me and you, then send the message through Instagram and I will not shout your name out. I will just say your question, basically. So I've got 3 highlighted here. Also, I'm going to say that Dad will be on the show sometime soon. He's away at the moment, so obviously I can't really do that. But when he comes back, I will have questions for him. So I have a couple here where I really want to push it for Dad. So if you have any questions for my father who raised me and, you know, put me through a lot of football training when I was younger, saw a lot of things that I didn't see. For example, I don't remember what I was doing when I was 8 years old. Then let me know down in the comments and then I'll swag them onto this Word document. So cracking on right away, the first question. Did you ever have to raise money to go on a tour as a teenager, 14, 15, 16? If so, how did you or how would you go about raising money? That comes in from Matt Grimes. So I never actually raised money to go on a trial or a tour. This is a video I've been wanting to make for so long, and this isn't the video, but I want to one day make it. I was selected into the Australian national futsal team. So when I think I was 18 and I was selected into the under 18s of the under 20s national team. And we were going to Brazil, but the thing was, this wasn't really the Australian national team. It was kind of like the money-making Australian national team. So I think the cost was thousands of dollars. They would profit off you, and it just didn't make sense. So I didn't do it. I was like, well, Dad, we can spend the money a lot better than, you know, being part of this fake Australian national team. So I didn't end up going. And I think what I first say is be very careful with your tours. If you're going on tour, make sure it's legit, make sure it's worth it, and it can bring something. If you're someone who's just out to have fun with football, then yeah, sure, a tour is cool. But if you're someone who wants to progress in the football world, you really need to make sure that there will be trials, there will be scouts there. There's just so many things that you need to look at. You need to speak with different people who are running the tour, because it's not that it's a scam, but it just can be a waste of money. You could spend that money, for example, if it's $4,000, you can spend that money on one-on-one coaching or group training sessions or an academy where you're going to get a better experience because you can do it for longer. Really be careful with that. So how would I go about raising money to go on tour? Look, it's like I always say, football isn't just about grinding on the field. You need to grind off the field as well, and that might mean working. Of course, look, you're 14, 15, 16, that can be difficult. For players who are a bit older, get a job, work, save up. Now, if you're 14, 15, 16, you really just have to rely on your parents. That's one. If you have rich parents, then cool, who cares? I was speaking to Dad about this the other day, and people seem to have this thing in their head that if you have rich parents, it's a bad thing. Like, I don't, trust me when I say this, my dad is not rich. We are not rich at all. But I have nothing against anyone that is rich. Like, good on them. They can spend more money doing things, so cool. But you need to grind. So like I said, if you're older, grind, get a job. If you're not, parents. If parents don't have money, maybe you can, I don't even know, how would you can go around speaking to people, there's just not a whole lot you can do, because raising money, you can do GoFundMe. That's one I will suggest. GoFundMe is a great little website for funding, and you put it up there, share it on Facebook, see who gives any money. I think it is difficult because people really only raise money for charities. And I remember having to do a MS readathon, which was raising awareness for MS, multiple sclerosis. And you would read books, and you would get sponsors, so they would give you $3 for every book you read or something like that. Now, that's difficult to do with football because you're not giving it to a charity. You're just investing it back in yourself, which, look, it is what it is, but people aren't as willing to give. So that's my thoughts on that. Yeah, that's it. Second question, any advice, guys, please grammatically word your questions, because I just copy and paste them. Reread them before you send them to me. Any advice to play soccer outside of my personal trainings and team trainings? I live in the US and in my neighbourhood there isn't really anyone who plays soccer. That comes in from Evan Gaines. Now, I was speaking with my sprint coach about this topic today, and I said, in Australia, there is no opportunity to go out in the street and play street football. Now, when we spoke with Naz, who was the guy at the NAC Academy, the French guy, he would go out in the street and play street football for 10, 12 hours, and that has 100% made him a better player. Now, sometimes that's just not possible. It's not the cultural thing to do. It's not part of the Australian culture to go on my street and go out and kick a football. It just isn't. So if it's not, what can you do? Well, you need to speak to your training people. So I have Pat. Pat messaged me. We've started training. Jay and I started training because we live together. Now Pat's leaving and Jay lives very far away, so I'm not going to have anyone. I need to speak with a few people. The goalkeeper who I'm now training with, he messaged me on Instagram. I thought, okay, who else can I get? Seppa, I used to train with him a little bit after training sessions, would stay behind and do extras, free kicks, football, tennis, whatever we did, passing. And I was like, okay, Seppa, do you want to come down and do a training session? Actually, he messaged me. Now I'm having to message him and saying, let's do a session, because I want to get down and do it. A guy that attends my sprint trainings, he's a centre back, and I want to get down and do a couple sessions with him a week because I want to be able to work on my 1v1s, he can work on his defending, and you just need to find these different people. You might not get 16 people and do a fun game. It might just be you and your mate, and I think that's better than doing nothing, because solo trainings are difficult because they do get boring and you can't do as much. Now, in saying that, they are very worthwhile and you need them, but it's good to have those extra sessions with 2, 3, 4 people. So think about your close teammates, think about your friends who you can go down with, someone that can just kick the ball back with you. That's my thoughts on that. If it's not part of your culture, it's not part of your culture. Don't go saying to your mum and dad, hey, can we move to France because I want to play street football? No, it's just, it's just not. So yeah, speak to your close friends, close teammates, anyone at school, anyone that you think you can go and have a decent session with. It helps a lot more if they have the same goal as you. So when I train with Pat, Jay, Seppa, we all have the same goal to become a professional. Now, a lot earlier on, I was doing training sessions with just friends from school who were there to just kick the ball around, which is fine, but I wasn't really getting what I wanted out of it. So that's my thoughts on that question. Yeah, if it's not part of your culture, it's just not part of your culture. Last and final question. I play right back, and this question worries me. Why do attackers get more attention and praise than defenders? Love the vids, keep it up. That comes in from Abdi Black. Now, I don't understand why this question worries you. I feel this is where you're putting yourself in a mindset that you're not as valuable to the team as you would like to be. You're not being praised enough, so you're thinking, man, what am I doing? Like, I'm wasting my time. I want to be the star player. Now, for me, I've played right back before and I really dislike it. Not because I don't think I'm getting any praise, but because I play football to score goals. Now, if I want to score goals, I want to make assists, I want to help the team win the game, and that's where I think I can affect the game most, by playing up front. Now, well, on the wing and attacking mid. So to think that you're not getting as much attention and praise, you need to think about, okay, what's my mindset? It's a team sport. There's 11 players on the field. And, you know, you might not get as much praise. Messi and Ronaldo are crowned the best players every year because first off, they're just simply the best. Like, you can't tell me that Ronaldo or Messi, that Ramos is better than Messi or Ronaldo. It's just not. It's simple because they're just much better players. They do more and they get more attention because in football, when you really break football down to the simple basic thing, you need to score one more goal than the other team. That's it. That's what football is. You need to score one more goal than the other team. That's the objective. So when you think of it like that, these guys, Ronaldo, Messi, the attackers are the ones that usually come up and score those one extra goals. So look, that's why they're getting the attention. And if you want the attention, then you can do one or two. Well, if you're not happy in your situation right now, you can do one or two things. You can move from right back and go play attacker because you want the praise, which is fine. Or number 2, you can write, for me, you guys know this, I've written 1,000 benefits of being part of a team. 1,000. So I sat down, I wrote 1,000 benefits of how the team helps me. And that completely shifted my mindset. I was like, okay, I'm part of a team. It doesn't matter if, like, you know, I'm on the bench. It doesn't matter if I'm in the stands. I'm part of the team. I want the team to win because that's what it is. It's a team sport. It's not individual. So that's your 2 options. And I think some people get inside their heads that, I'm trying to say, like, you know, we see Ronaldo and we think, oh, he's all about himself. He doesn't care about the team. But when you really analyze the words that he uses, the way he talks, he is about the team. And it just comes off, we think, oh, he scores so many goals, he's so good, he wants to win everything, he wants to be the best. That's because he wants to be the best for himself and the team. So think about that. Let me know which one you're going to go with. I highly suggest writing down benefits. You don't have to do 1,000, you can do 100 or 50, just until your perception changes on the situation. I don't think it's something to be worried about. If that's the thing you're most worried about, then I don't know. I don't know what to say. Like, I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but I'm saying, look, you need to shift your focus. If you're worried about getting praise, then I don't know. That's not something I'd focus on. So anyway, Team Tweedie, I'm signing out. Make sure you leave a like on this video. Subscribe if you're around here. Join the hashtag AskTweedie family. And I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Bye.
Listen.